Hey everybody, inside the red and welcome back to Shining Song Starnova. Right then, last we left off. Well, a lot of shit. Aki's still not feeling well, so there's that. Then Oda shows up. Oda's being a fucking creep as usual, and Oda obviously wants Starnova to win because he wants control over Golden Cap Productions, because if Quasar doesn't win the Grand Prix, he gets control over Quasar and therefore basically the company. Which would suck in so many ways, on so many different levels. Also, I completely forgot to mention. I meant to. I was in such a rush to start recording these, as I've been off schedule, and I'm recording these in like a batch right now. I am aware that the Starnova the like simulation game, the management simulator is out. I don't know if I don't think I'm gonna do a playthrough of it. I may do like a video or something, but I'm probably not gonna play it just because. Well, I mean, and I'm probably not gonna do like a series on it. I doubt it. I might if I. It all comes down to how I would feel about the recording when I actually do it. Although I may do a video of it normally, and then do a separate video of featuring the Sunrider DLC, because that just looks funny as hell. So I meant to mention that earlier because, you know, in the episode it's going to come out first as opposed to this one. Yeah, I completely slipped my mind, so there's that. My bad. Anyway, okay, let's go on. We've run to Kamijo. There you are. Kamijo's on. What? Come with me now. This is important. He grabbed me by my shoulder and dragged me away in a panic. He's going to confess his love for me. Oh no, I fear this would happen. From the look on his face, I could instantly tell that he had not come to boast about the superiority of his idols before the girls Starnova hit the stage. Just as we feared, this Grand Prix was nowhere as simple as it appeared. Unbeknownst to anyone at Shining Productions, a new threat had emerged. A threat far greater than either Starnova or Quasar. One which would require us of the unthinkable to defeat. Oh, after discussing the situation with Kamijo, I sprinted back to the stage as quickly as my legs would take me. To think Oda had been manipulating Aki into defeating Quasar all this time. If Starnova were to win now, then it would only mean that his power would multiply unchecked. Having heard from Aki about how he had attempted to take advantage of her when she was just 14, I knew that what Kamijo was saying about him was true. Oda had been the grand evil of this tale all along. A wretched monster who had sought to acquire power so that he could get away with his crimes, both past and future. That, combined with the look on Kamijo's face as he begged me for help, was all it took for me to realize that there was far more at stake tonight than the outcome of an idol contest. The lives of hundreds of young talent at Golden Calf were at stake now. This matter transcended Starnova. It transcended Quasar. It was a crisis which had to be abated at all costs. It didn't matter that Starnova would have to lose. There were some things in this world more important than my duty to the company. If Oda were to take control of Golden Calf, then real lives could very well be lost. My heart pounded as I heard Quasar's song end. In but moments, the girls of Quasar would take to the stage, and they would unknowingly do their best to defeat Quasar and deliver victory to Oda on a silver platter. No. They were innocent. They think that Oda had secretly plotted to use the girls of Starnova for his own ends. The faces of each girl flashed in my head as I raced up the stairs. The thought of that vile man using my girls in his plan to take over Golden Calf made my heart turn into white chalk. I had to stop them. There was no other way to save the situation now. The whole performance had to be cancelled. I arrived backstage just as the first notes of Starnova's song began. My hands outstretched. I could only see the backs of the girls as they ran onto the stage. No, stop! My shout was drowned out by the roar of the audience as the lights turned back on, revealing the girls. I fell forward to the ground as Starnova's performance began. No, I was too late. The girls were already on the stage. Moments prior. The girls watched the conclusion of Quasar's performance. Within moments, it would be their turn to shine. It's something that include them in. Sorry. Is something that include them in? Like, are they actually gonna be like get a hint or?
私たちのライブが成功するために頑張ってると信じよう。
そうだよ。考えてる時間なんてないよ。私たちみんな。
Oh, shit.
そうだよ。考えてる時間なんてないよ。私たちにできることは最高のパフォーマンスをすることのみ。
There. Apologies.
みんな、長く険しい道だったけど、私はもうすでにたくさんのことを求めてきたと自覚しているけど。
Yeah, sometimes the pauses throw me off, so I have to be careful. Well, that's why I usually end up waiting at the end of these like fully spoken sentences.
でもこの瞬間だけではこのグランプリでのライブを全力でやり遂げたい。
They interlock their arms in a group huddle as they did before every one of their lives.
私たち一人一人が何かの犠牲を払ってここまで来た。その苦労を私自身も味わってきた。何回も諦めようとした。何度も楽な道へ逃げようとした。それでも最終的にあのステージまでたどり着きたいと思った。人々が私たちを目で見て理想の結晶と心で感じる夢の舞台。可能を可能にしたとみんなが私たちのことを語る。それは奇跡の一種であって、悩みがあるとき人々は私たちを希望の目印とする。流した涙なんて考えることではない。どんな犠牲を払ってもスターノバがそんな象徴になってほしい。不条理な世界で人々を励ます輝く光。
That's quite the speech. I like the positive turn there.
行きましょう。クエーサーを倒して
And of course
ス
she's
ター
like,
ノバのために1位を取りましょう。
"Whoa! Hoorah!" Right.
誰よりも眩しく輝く。誰よりも輝く。夜の闇を昼に変える光。闇を昼に変える光。いいよ。いいよ。
Hey, roll credits now. The first notes of this song began. Their cue to take the stage. Oblivious to their producer shouting behind them, the girls ran out into the stage. Oh, never mind. Damn it. Well, I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to become the number one. The thunderous roar of 1,000 men shook their heart to take the stage. There we go. Aki's face opened to a wondrous smile. A little fang. That's cute. Yes, this had been the moment she'd been waiting for. What she had bled, cried, suffered for as long as she could remember for. She had tossed her girlhood aside, her body, her mind, all of it. Also that she could stand here on this momentous stage, not as a girl but an idol, a symbol detached from earthly limitations, born from myth, a vessel of the people's never fulfilled desires, the image of what could never be attained, perfection. Her chest burned, her legs felt weak, but her body moved by itself. It didn't matter what producer had said. Tonight would be her night. She outstretched her hands as two magnificent white wings sprouted behind her. She spun forward at the head of their formation, their center. An angel. She's an angel. What's she doing? This isn't the yeah, shit. I already tripped up. God damn it! I ruined it. What's she doing? This isn't the 3 center routine. Aki-chan, use Son to do this. Get back into formation. But Aki's mind had already left. Her face locked in a euphoric trance, she proceeded with the forbidden single center routine instead of their fallback plan. It's too late now. It's Maho Shoujo Idol-chan. Maria fell back and motioned to the others to go ahead with Aki as the sole center. This is... Sasami swallowed her worries and allowed Aki to take the center stage. Aki's blood roiled. She felt no pain. This is her moment. Victory was upon her. The world around her turned white as her consciousness floated away. She beat her grand wings on the floor of the stage and took to the air, an angel ascendant. Her hand outstretched, she soared above her fans. 100, 1,000 arms reached up, seeking for but a moment's spark to pass between them and their connected hands. Her eyes were wide with wonder what she was witnessing. Her mouth was agape with religious awakening. But her body was fading. Her mind was gone. Tears dripped from her eyes. She was happy. Her wings finally tore apart. She fell into a great white abyss surrounded by a cloud of spiraling feathers. Was it all over? Had her body failed at last? Was her spirit now sinking into the afterlife? It must be so. After all, she felt so light now. Aki closed her eyes, accepting her predicament. After all, she had always known that her life would end like this. At least she had managed to die at the apex of her glory. She would be remembered forever as the idol who died on the floor of the Grand Prix. As morbid as the title, she could live with it. Oop. Aki walked out of her bedroom into the dining room. Her mom was waiting for her in the kitchen in the middle of cooking breakfast. She looked down. What was she wearing? A school uniform? Yes, she had always wished to wear one of the. She had always wished she'd worn one of these. They were the very symbol of girlhood, after all. For some reason, she'd always been disappointed that she never could have worn one. That she had skipped out on an essential chapter of her life. Her entire life, she had felt envy at those who could have experienced such a simple thing. But she was a teenager who had to go to school. Why did it come as a surprise to her that she was wearing a school uniform? It was only natural. Her mom put a plate of breakfast before her: eggs, ham, and toast. Aki, make sure to eat before heading out to school. Thanks, Mama. She bit into the toast, her feet rocking under her seat. Is everything going alright at school? How's your club going? It's going well. I found some more girls for our band. Oh my god, it's fucking Starnova. It's fucking K-On! Oh god, go tea time. There's this upperclassman who's really cool. She's even been in a popular band before, can you believe that? And there's this other senpai who's got unbelievably huge boobs, but she's really good at reading the air and is like a wealthy heiress who lives in a huge mansion. Aside from them, there's the girls in my class. There's Sasa-chan, Natan, and even that delinquent Julie. Oh, and I even talked to this really shy girl who's a total chunibyo into joining. But she's really so hopeless. Really? You've already got 6 of the girls to join? Together we're gonna do it. We're gonna be the best girl band ever. Your mama's so proud. You'll let her watch your lives, won't you? Of course. But be trying to push yourself too far, Aki. This is so unbelievably depressing. It really is. Even though you're not a little girl anymore, you're small like me. Remember, no matter how important something seems, there's nothing more important than your body. Regardless of whether you're first place, second, third, or last, Mama will always love you, because you're my only baby. Oh, what are you saying so early in the morning, Mama? I'm gonna choke on this bread if you embarrass me anymore. But Mama loves Aki that much. You'll never understand how Mommy feels until you've got a baby yourself. Seriously. But on that note, Aki, I've got something really important to ask you. Is there a boy that you have your eyes on? A boy? So you do. I've been wondering when this would finally happen. Aki cautiously took a gulp of water to wash down the toast stuck in her throat. It's not really a classmate. In fact, it's someone who's quite a bit older than me. So you've got a crush on a teacher? But he's totally a good guy. He's never looked at me with wolf eyes, and he's probably totally oblivious to how I feel all the time. But, he's always watched out for me. Well, to tell the truth, he kind of watches out for all of his students. So maybe I'm just being dumb, falling for a guy like him. But I still can't help it. Her mom only looked at her warmly. God, this is so incredibly depressing. It's like the life that she should have had. That it's an actual normal, healthy life. God damn it. Oh, it hurts. It really does hurt. Aki, having feelings for a teacher is totally normal for a girl your age. But like everything, there's a time for this. Maybe once you graduated, you can tell him how you felt if you haven't already moved on by then. I suppose so. It just can't be helped if it's a teacher. In the next moment, Aki felt her mom's arms around her face. Don't worry. You've got such an adorable face, and I bet you already have a truckload of boys chasing after you. If any of them break your heart, then tell Mama right away. I'll set them straight for you. Don't be silly. Oh, I'm a high schooler now, you know. This isn't kindergarten anymore. When did my little Aki grow up so fast? Mama wishes she could still walk you to school every day. Alright, Aki. From the day on, Mama's gonna put on a school uniform too and pretend to be a transfer student. Let's go. Like that would ever work. Anyways, it's time to get going. I'm gonna be late if I goof off anymore. My, look at the time. Alright, Aki. Have a good day. I'll see you later. After leaving her house, Aki saw her friend Mika walking to school. She jogged up to her. Good morning. Oh my god, Mika. Fucking sweater vest and everything, Jesus Christ. Oh, so you've returned, Red Imp. How dastardly of you to plan a sneak attack on me at the break of dawn, when my power is at their lowest ebb. More of that nonsense again? Good morning. Listen to this. I had the weirdest dream last night. A dream, you say? Doubtless say it must be a message. Pray tell, what visions did your night shower bring? For some reason, we were all idols. You, me, Sasa-chan, Tan, all the other girls in our club. But things are totally different from what you would have expected. In fact, you could say it was more of a nightmare. It was super hard being an idol. I even had this terrible, perverted old man as my producer at one point. And the weirdest thing is that my mom was there too, but she was totally different. She was a heartless person who kept feeding me lies and using me. I wonder why I'd ever dreamed something like that. It sounds rather sad somehow. Does it? Somehow. But you know, it wasn't all bad. All my friends are still there. Despite how hard it was to be idols, 7 of us still managed to participate in some big idol contest. And not only that, but there was this other cool looking producer who ended up taking care of me. It sounds like you had a dream about romance or something. Well, so, how did you win that contest? That's the thing. I ended up waking up right before we found out. I guess it's just how most dreams are, huh? You always wake up 1 second before the most important part. I see. Sometimes when I wake up in the middle of a really good dream, I try to shut my eyes and go back to sleep as soon as possible, so I can continue where I left off. It never ends up working, though. The contest felt really important in the dream, though. Almost like my life depended on winning. But I suppose now that I look back on it, it really was a silly dream, eh? Getting all riled up about some stupid idol contest that nobody but Otaku cared about. You know, people won't take that stuff too seriously. Our devotion to this way of life is truly a matter of life and death. Unbelievable. Aki half listened to her teacher's lecture as she stared at him. Same old blue tie as usual, eh? Come on, Teach. You ever wear anything else? No. It is forbidden. Oh well, maybe that kind of reliability is what I like the most about him. All of a sudden, he called her name. Kashiwagi-kun, can you enter this one? Aki shot up in a panic, nearly tripping over her chair. Oh, of course, Teach. But what was the question again? The class burst into laughter. All right, everyone, settle down. The question was, will Kashiwagi Aki become the number 1? The world froze. Eh? Her classmates vanished and were replaced with the faces of her teammates.
柏木亜希はナンバーワンになれるのか。
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 This is trippy.
柏木亜希はナンバーワンになれるのか。
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 One by one, they asked the question she had asked herself her entire life. The very question that had haunted her, tormented her.
私は
She closed her eyes. Tears dripped down her face. The moment had come. She would have to choose now and live with the consequences, good and bad. She chose... Oh, no. Oh, fuck. Ugh. This entire game has been like no choices. And, of course, now they spring it on me when it matters. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, God. Choose wisely, Mr. Producer. That's not. If I say yes, here's what I'm going to assume. Yes is like she dies or something, and it goes the whole like she becomes remembered as the idol who died, like that, you know, on the stage, whatever. And no is that they lose. You know, she's not the number one, but Quasar manages to win. Oda gets out, doesn't get control of the company. That's what I'm guessing. That no is the right answer. And I'm gonna go with no, because if yes is her dying, I honestly don't want to fucking see that. I don't want to go. I don't want to have to go through seeing that her die, because I've already had everything else. Just no. No. But okay, yes, I can save. All right, just in case no is the wrong answer. Oh God, I'm actually tense. Like. No, but her very life had been dedicated to becoming the very best. Yeah, and look how that came about. What happened because of it? The why, the what, the repercussions, what led up to it. The very first memory she had was of her. Fuck off, YouTube pops. She had was of her mother drilling her on the importance of acquiring victory at all costs. Yes, and that was when the seed had been planted. What a life it had been since. She had first rose as a child idol, and then she had fallen. Then she'd rose again, now as an adult. And now she was on the cusp of holding it in her grasp, the moment she'd been waiting for all this time. How could she turn away from it? She outstretched her hand to the shining future. It glimmered before her, but a hair's breadth away.
惜しい。
Hmm.
勝利。
Hmm.
ナンバーワンになりたい。英雄としていつまでもみんなの記憶に刻みたい。不死の星になる。
But she felt a hand on her arm. It drew her in close. Okay, that's depressing too. That's sad.
アキ
Uh-huh.
もう無理しなくてもいいのよ。
Yeah. Those are the words her actual mom should have said.
ママはもう今幸せなの。十分頑張ってくれたから。他の人はあなたのことを勝者と呼んでも負け犬と呼んでも、ママはずっとアキのことを一番愛してるから。だって当たり前じゃない。アキは私の子だもの。
This is just still like sad, because this is how her mother should have been. This is the kind of stuff she should have heard from her mother a long time ago. Aki stood, stunned by her mother's words. Never before had she said anything like that. Indeed, those are the words she had longed to hear for all these years. Great big drops of tears fell from Aki's eyes. Oh. God, that's sad. In truth, she had wanted that the most. Not victory, not fame. This had merely been incidental to the true object of her lifelong desire. All along, her only wish had been to finally win her mother's unconditional love.
どうしてそんな言葉一度も言ってくれなかったの。どうして夢でしか言ってくれないの。
God, this hurts. It hurts. It's...
私が欲しいのはあなたからのそんな言葉だけなのに。アイドルであってもそうでなくても勝っても負けても欲しいの。どうして言ってくれなかったの。どうして。
God. Oh. Mm. It's such a punch in the gut kind of moment. It's so sad. Oh my god. Like, I can't even really put into words. Just, ugh. All this time, Aki had deluded herself into believing that if she one day brought home a grand, magnificent trophy and presented it before her mother, that her mother would break into a smile and finally embrace her. That her mother would hold her dear and tell her that she had done well. It had all been a dream. A dream as fake as the one she saw but a moments prior. One that she had to let go. Her mother's image shattered into what looked like a million flower petals and scattered to the winds. Aki raised her head and watched them disappear into the azure sky. At long last, she was free. Okay, but what does that mean? She had spent long enough in this dream world. Now, it was time to face reality. In truth, her entire body was burning. Her insides screamed at her to stop. She had retreated here so that she could continue performing. But now, there was no further reason to continue like this. Aki spun backwards and drew Sasami and Maria close. Okay. Okay, I was worried it would be worse in reality. Okay, like she had fucking passed out again, or... Oh, thank God. There you go. Yes, thank you. With that, Aki fell back to the rear of the formation. Her movements slowed. They were no longer as grand or in sync with the beat as before, but her body thanked her for it. There would be plenty of chance to perform from now. There was no reason to risk everything here. After all, her time as an idol was only beginning, and she had so many more things she wanted to do from now. Her story couldn't end here. If fate deemed it in the years ahead, she would one day truly become a truly great idol. But right now, she was satisfied at having come this far. She'd done her best and had come short. She accepted her shortcomings without excuse. She did not lament to the heavens or look back with regret, but instead closed her eyes, proud of everything that had happened thus far. In the end, she was but a single idol in this enormous world. She could claim no disgusting power to lord over men and women. All she could do was live her life the way she wished, and maybe, just maybe, others might see her little corner of the world and look upon her as an inspiration. That was enough. More than enough. And so, Starnova's Grand Prix performance finished. The girls' die-hard fans shouted their support at the top of their lungs, but otherwise, the girls received but modest applause from the general audience. Hardly the kind of reception required to topple Quasar, the long-established queens of the entertainment business. But regardless of the reception, I stared on before them in awe. Regardless of where they ranked, in my eyes, Starnova would always be the number one. It was the sort of love a father would feel for his daughters. There was no way I wouldn't proudly declare that I had been the producer, that I had been a part of something truly great. It didn't matter what anyone else thought. To me, my girls would always be the winners. Later, the top competitors of the Grand Prix lined up on the main stage with the announcement of the winner. A veritable sea of shining jewels. Every single idol who had participated this year had been beautiful, devoted, and worthy. Any man in the street would be overjoyed to have one of these girls as their lover. It didn't matter whether she was first or last.
Ladies and gentlemen, 今年のアイドルグランプリの結果発表準備ができました。
The girls closed their eyes in prayer as the drum roll began.
優勝者はクエーサー。
There we go. Yep. That's a necessary sacrifice, yes. Quasar's theme music played over the loudspeakers as Okuda Shiro stepped up to accept the massive first prize trophy. The crowd erupted into both howls of shock and euphoric screams of delight. Dude, just breathe. Or just let her out, whatever. Whatever is more therapeutic for you. Kyosuke put his meaty hand on his comrade's bony shoulder. Fuck you. No, but okay. Big globs of tears welled up in Junpei's eyes. Kyosuke held his partner in his arms as he wept into the larger man's bosom. The other men of the Starnova fan club lowered their heads in respect, tears dripping down their cheeks as well. But they could not complain, nor could they speak of any excuses, for all the competitors tonight had done their best, played fair, and won or lost based on their abilities. When the time had come, the MC announced the runner-up. There we go. Despite their tears, the men shouted the rallying cry with all their might. Aki walked to the front of the stage and accepted the second-place trophy. Still a magnificent prize of silver, Aki's small stature made it look just as big as the first prize trophy. Right, enough of that. Okay. I said enough of that, please. Right. Well, this is an angle, isn't it? She held the microphone in her hand to deliver her remarks. Despite not being number one, she looked upon the sea of supporters before her with a radiant look of wonder. Tears soaked her eyes, but they were not of sorrow. The audience quieted down. Her trembling voice echoed from the island of Odaiba.
スターノバがアイドルグランプリに参加したのは2回目です。わずか1年で私たちは38位から2位になれたことにこの上ない喜びを感じています。心からお礼を申し上げます。
The audience broke into cheers.
今までの旅を振り返ると本当にいろんなことが起きました。おそらく
Oops, okay, that wasn't the end, damn it.
今までの旅を振り返ると本当にいろんなことが起きました。おそらく皆さんがすでに聞いたと。
Aki's voice broke as tears dripped down her cheeks.
頑張ってアキちゃんと思いますがこの数週間は私にとって かわからなくなって諦めることを何度も考えました。それでも続けてきました。実を言うと優勝したかったんです。ナンバーワンになりたかったんです。でも気づいたんです。とても大事なことに。準優勝という結果になりましたが、スターノバの一員になれたことをとても嬉しく思っています。1位でも2位でも最下位でも関係ありません。ランクなど関係ありません。重要なのは今の人生に満足しているかどうかです。
Yes, there you go. Right. It's a very good, yeah. All I can say is just this. Yes, yeah.
あなたが誰であってもこの2位のアイドル柏木亜希はあなたを応援します。
Second place, but first rate. There you go. Fucking.
ありがとうございます。これからもスターノバを応援してください。
Aki and the rest of the girls bowed down.
どうし捧げつつ
The men of the Starnova fan club raised their banner on high and cheered loud enough for their voices to be heard over the clamor of the audience. Tears welled up in my eyes as Aki returned to the back of the stage, and the 7 girls held their trophy together. I smiled and applauded along with the rest of the audience. Maybe all this time she had never needed to be number 1. All she had sought was the love of a person who had brought her up. While Aki was still far from having won her mother's approval, I felt this was a turning point in their relationship. Perhaps one day the two of them would finally meet and have a heart-to-heart. For now, I was glad to see that Aki had found the answer to her lifelong question. As I watched Aki laughing along with the other girls, their shining trophy in their hands, I knew the smallest girl of Starnova had been the one with the biggest heart all along. Oh. Oh, God. That was... God, it's so weird to remember back on that on this shit after all that. Oh. This was not what I was expecting Aki's story to end up like. I mean, there were bits of it that I had kind of that I had a feeling were gonna be there, but it went way deeper than I had expected, and I mean, way deeper in a lot of ways. That ending was super emotional. I mean, holy crap. Ugh. And to think that I selected Aki's route to start with because she was the character I was kind of the least, well, in a sense, the least interested in. Wow, that's very pleasant surprise, even if a lot of that was kind of, you know, kind of hurt to get through some of it. Oh. Oh? Okay, fuck off.